If I have a piece of paper, sorry, if I have a piece of paper and I want to cut equal amount of strip in that paper along the length or along the width, I want to know how many of these little cut pieces I can make. So it's the same thing too. If I have this marker here, I want to cut little bitty sides that are this, this thick. I want to cut them. I know the length of the marker. I want to know how many of those I can cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can't really do this with my finger. To be accurate, we want to know the length of the marker and also the length of each species that we want to cut. This is exactly what we're going to do in this problem here. So we're going to cut strips of paper. So here we have a paper. We have a paper, regular paper that we know like comes out of the copy machine. The regular ones, they're big ones too, but I think they call them A or something like that. A paper or something, capital A, letter A, something paper. So we want to cut this paper down. We want to cut along the width of this paper and see how many little strips we're gonna make. Let me show you exactly what they asked us here. All right, so where we at? So it says a piece of letter-sized paper is 8.5 inches wide and 11 inches long. Suppose you want to cut strips of paper that are 5/8 of an inch wide and 11 inches long. What is the maximum number of strips of paper you could make from one piece of letter-sized paper? Okay, so I want to know what's the maximum we're going to make. So remember here, when we're cutting paper, it says we're cutting 5/8 of inches wide and 11 inches long. So what we're going to cut here is because the length is still the same. Every strip we're going to make, the length is still the same. The way we want to cut this is the length. The way we want to strip this out is along the length, but really what you're cutting out of is the width, because you want the length to be the same. You're going to cut another one here. You still want the same length of 11 inches. That's what they tell us. We still want the same length. So I can't really do this with my hand, just like the marker. I can't really do this with my hand. I got to find a way I have to really find a way to mathematically to explain how many of those I can cut. So here, the width of this thing that I'm trying to cut here, what it says is 5/8 of an inch. So think about this. 5/8 of an inch, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. However many times I can take 5/8 of an inch out of 8.5 inches. Now, the reason we don't cut along we don't cut this way is because I want the length to be 11. So if I'm cutting strips this way, the length of this here, this strip, is 11 inches. The width of this here is 5/8 of an inch. The reason why I know how I wanted to cut this way, because they say the length of the paper is 11 and its strip is 11 inches long. That means I'm not touching the length. Every time I cut, I still get 11 inches long. And they say the width is 5/8. So what I'm saying here is 1/5/8, 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. However many 5/8 I can get out of this 8.5 inches. So what I'm really saying here is how many times does 5/8 go into 8.5 inches? So what is it that I'm saying is however many go into 8.5 inches. How many times 5/8 go into 8.5 inches? So what I'm really saying here is X, the number of strip that I can make here is 8.5 inches divided by 5/8. Easy, right? Okay, so 8.5 divided by 5/8, Let me see if I can show you how to do this in the calculator. I hope you use one of these calculators in the exam. I'll be honest with you. This is one of the best ones I know. So don't look at the board. Just use the calculator. So what am I typing? 8.5, 8.5. So, 8. I want to show you how to do this. 8.5 is 8.5 divided by 5 over 8. I want to put a parenthesis here. 5 divided by 8. No, 8. Yeah, 13.6. 13.6 strips. That's funny about this number. There's no 0.6 strip. So how many I can make? 13. I can only make 13. That's the maximum number I can make. I can't make 14 because it's not a whole strip here. So what happened is, what they saying is, when after you make 13, there's gonna be a little bitty piece left, and you won't be able to make a strip out of that because the length won't be 5 over 8. If you enjoyed this video, please share it on your page. It'll help you enjoy a lot of kids taking the ACT, the SAT, and any other standardized test. Actually, I'm gonna show you the answer here that you want to choose as 13. As you can see, not 14, D. All right, thank you very much. Again, this is Romel with the Jack's Tutor. Thanks, bye-bye.